Thanks for asking me along to this event. Yeah, I'm coming from you from Skye. I'm actually based in Aberdeenshire, and I'm working in Skye this week and delivering training up here. So just a quick bit of my background. I was working on farms and got involved in the training about 30 years ago now, actually, and just started off doing forklift training and various other little bits and bobs, and then predominantly in the winter time, really, and then it just grew from there. And so, long story short, I'm now a Landra instructor covering a range of different aspects now. So predominantly tractors, forklifts, ATVs, and we set up Findlay Training as a provider just a couple of years ago, and we are now we have a lot of other instructors doing stuff for us and that as well. So as far as the industries go, I mean, you mentioned engineering, but I mean we're working with loads of different types of industries now. I'm actually working for a castle on Skye, and I promised the head gardener that I would give gardening a little punt as well, because he's finding he's really struggling to find gardeners and that now. He says everybody's going into farming and horticulture even, but he said the gardening side of things, he says specifically, is something that he's struggling to find people. So I was winding him up a wee bit, saying you need to find somebody like Jeremy Clarkson or something to suddenly get into gardening, and then everybody will want to be a gardener. So, so it was just for any who's listening that are maybe looking at something like that, then it seems to be something that's, we do a lot of work with like National Trust and various organisations like that have obviously got gardeners and that on site and that as well. So, and as I say, we're working in loads of different industries. I was looking at your the descriptor that you had for the event last night, and pretty much all the industries that Lantra had listed on this event, we're delivering training for. So predominantly the agricultural sector, sporting estates, and aquaculture as well. So we're doing a lot on fish farms. They're a huge employer now in the West Coast in particular, and I find myself out here quite a lot now. So as I say, I'm on Skye with the gardeners this week, but next week I'm on the West Coast in Stornoway, and that's working predominantly on fish farms out there as well. I think the land-based sector in general, as we know, I mean, there's so many different avenues you can go down. And there's so many different things you can get involved in, and the range of jobs out there is just amazing. The weather, I'm in Skye just now, and the weather's lovely actually today, but normally when I'm out here I'm eating alive with midges and it's pouring rain, but actually it's been lovely this week so far. It's great. So when you are outside in the nice weather, it's a lovely place to be. And I don't think there's much more. As a provider, I'm not going to bore you with all that. I'm sure everybody knows what the Lantra providers and that are doing. But I mean, basically, we're chatting to our customers and we're supplying the training courses that they are looking for. And quite often, what we generally find is that they don't actually know themselves what they're looking for, and it's not until we get chatting to them that we realise that there's different avenues and different things that they're looking for, and a lot of the time they didn't actually realise there was a training course for that. And if there's not a course, then we'll try our best to try and adapt things to suit to get them to where they want to be. So I think that was pretty much all I had to kind of mention. Sorry I haven't managed to get that. I managed to position myself in front of a little tractor as well, but my phone's not wanting to let me do that. So sorry.
That's okay, Andy. Thanks for coming along today. You've been saying there's quite a lot of travel in your job that you're doing at the moment. Do you enjoy that aspect of it?
Yes, I do. Yeah, and I think that's what I love about this job. We're in different places all the time, and it's great. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. There's sometimes you can see it far enough when you're sitting waiting for a ferry and it doesn't appear, and you're starting to panic because you're supposed to be somewhere else the next day. But no, and I think the other thing I really enjoy about this job is meeting different people all the time, and you learn so much with chatting to other people. And you just, I mean, we're always, I mean, even though we're instructors, every day is a learning day, and we're always learning from other people as well. And just chatting in general, just life experiences as well, chatting to people, seeing different venues. It's amazing how people do things differently. And again, we can take that information and we can use that as an instructor. We can adapt that and we can use it to show other trainees on other courses as well. So, yeah, no, it's a bit of a challenge sometimes up here in the summertime because we're up against all the tourists. The ferries are busy, accommodations busy. So that's where we generally find ourselves out this neck of the woods at this time of year when it's a wee bit quieter, and we can get booked into hotels and we can get a meal at night, and it's just a wee bit easier.
What advice would you give to any young person looking to move into kind of land-based sectors?
Oh, I mean, I think that there's so many, as I said earlier on, there's so many different avenues you can go down. So, you might be sitting there thinking there's maybe not a job in that particular area, but chances are there is. Sometimes you maybe need to just chat to somebody at a careers event, or even just pick up the phone to a college or a provider and have a chat, and they should be able to point you in the right direction. I think we were just chatting, the trainees I've got in the course today, we were just chatting about this earlier on. Careers events years ago, when you mentioned the land-based sector, there wasn't probably a lot of scope in that. There wasn't really a lot of choice in that for you in a careers event. I remember myself as a kid going round. But nowadays, careers events are really well attended now with all these different organisations. Obviously, Lantra, and if Lantra's not there, then obviously we've got all the providers, the colleges, and all the other organisations like, as I say, Historic Scotland, Nature Scotland, all that. They're all there, RSPB. And again, having a chat with them, and they'll tell you a wee bit about their job. Quite often the people that are at the careers events are actually doing that job as well. So they'll be able to give you a description as to what it's about as well. So don't be scared to ask questions. Speak to somebody that's doing the job. If you're fancying it yourself, speak to somebody and get some advice and that there.
Fantastic. Got another question there for you, Andy. So do your training courses help people understand how to fix the machines they work with, as well as using them safely?
Yes, it depends on I mean, if I mention, say, for example, chainsaw courses, for example, the basic, like the first course you'll do with a chainsaw course is a basic maintenance and cross-cutting course. And the feedback we get from trainees on that is they really enjoyed, they very much take the saw apart, they strip it all down, put it all back together, and hopefully at the end of it, you've got no spare bits. And they learn a lot from that, being able to figure out how it all works and put it back together and then actually operate the machine. Now, I'm doing tractor courses this week. Now, obviously, there's limits to what we can do with relation to maintenance and all that kind of stuff. But we do, we get people greasing the machine, so we'll work a grease gun. We do all the service checks and all that kind of stuff as well. The problem with the likes of tractors and forklifts and ATVs to a certain degree now, people don't really do a huge amount to them themselves. The dealerships now are doing all the maintenance side of things, and they're so high tech now. There's a limit to what you can do, but we will do as much as we can. I try not to get too involved with repairing things, because before you know it, you can get carried away, and then if you end up breaking something, then you've got issues in that as well. So I try not to get too involved in the repairing side and that there.
Do you have a favourite training course that you like to deliver?
This year, because of the Lantra Skills Hub funding, we've had our busiest year this year with kids on courses, and predominantly the young tractor drivers course. And I really enjoy doing that course actually, because you get a lot out of it. You see the kids when they rock up in the morning, their parents are dropping them off and they're all a bit nervous and all this kind of stuff. They're not talking to anybody. And by the end of the first day, you've kind of won them over. And the second morning, they're totally different. They're really enjoying it. And by the end of the course, they're so confident that they go away, they're fair chuffed, they've enjoyed the course. And it's quite satisfying from my point of view because they've learned so much as well. So, but I'm not saying that's just for the kids' courses. I mean, obviously we find that. I mean, the course I'm running yesterday and today were inexperienced operators on just a small compact tractor. And they've learned so much already on how, and one or two of them had actually been driving the machine before, and there was things that we've shown them. And I know it's not just myself. I know this is for all. I'll probably be chatting. It's the same with the rest instructors. I'll tell you the same thing. That you always learn something in these courses. There's always something. No matter how much you've been operating a bit of kit before, you'll always pick something up. So it is really rewarding as an instructor when you come away and you feel that you've improved things, you've made them not just safer, but you've made them understand that bit of kit a bit more as well.